Adab Al Mufrad, where we go through the beautiful ahadith wherein Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself directly or through the great Sahaba Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim ajma'in, he nurtured within them, and they nurtured and took this onwards, the beautiful character of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his beautiful character building. And as we mention every week, that Alhamdulillah, Imam Al Bukhari rahmatullahi alayhi has compiled a beautiful book wherein he has gathered all those traditions which pertain to and relate to the character building that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself instructed, motivated, and nurtured all his great Sahaba Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim ajma'in, also brought forth from the company of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then nurtured the generation after them. So subhanallah, we are now in our 16th session, and this week's session, inshallah, the topic which Imam al-Bukhari radiallahu ta'ala anhu is going to over here. The topic which Imam al-Bukhari brings over here. The next topic is the topic which is titled Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Imam Bukhari says Babun al-Mashwarah. Imam Bukhari says the chapter in regards to mutual consultation. So when a person does mashwarah, we may have heard this term used quite often within religious circles, and this is a term which is used from the Quran and the Sunnah. Mashwarah is something which is established from both the Quran and the Sunnah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. He instructs Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to include the great Sahaba ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim ajma'in in his consultation, to consult with them and in the matters that are at hand. And also, فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. After you've made your firm resolution, thereafter, a person's tawakkul and a person's conviction and a person's trust should be upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now, whenever we have an important decision to make, or we need some guidance in some way or another, that could be, it doesn't have to only be in regards to, normally when it comes to istikharah or mashwarah, people restrict this to maybe it's to do with marriage, or to do with something like extremely a rare scenario, once in a lifetime moment. They think, oh no, now we have to do mashwarah and istikharah. Rather, we should be doing istikharah and mashwarah, both of them, in every matter that we are faced with. Whether that matter is to do with our religious life, whether our spirituality, or whether that matter is to do with our worldly life, whether that matter be in regards to a house we may want to buy, or maybe a business transaction we want to undertake, or an investment we want to make, or and obviously also when it comes to mashallah, many of the people do this when it comes to marriage, when a person is looking for a spouse, or maybe is thinking about choosing a spouse. So these are various different instances where we can and we do mashwarah. We partake in mutual consultation. That is mashwarah. Mashwarah means to mutually consult, to take guidance or advice or opinions. And this doesn't mean that if I have taken the mashwarah of someone, I have asked someone for mashwarah, I have to only do that. No, we take in different points of view, because people in this worldly life, there are people that have more experience than us. Maybe they are older than us, they've lived this world longer, or they may have certain expertise, or maybe just people with different perspectives may give us a different idea, and maybe we may be able to see both sides of the picture. So mashwarah is a very, very important an act that is, number one, instructed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, but also Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's sunnah. He himself adopted the practice of mashwarah, where he would consult with the Sahaba ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim ajma'in, and also he would consult with his family members, with his wives. So we have various instances where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is about to undertake an expedition, what to do when the time of Badr came, or when the time of Hajj came, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is about to go for Umrah, or he's going towards the incident of Hudaybiyah, and he's going there, and suddenly the treaty happens. We know the story, cutting it short, but they are unable to enter Makkatul Mukarramah, and the Sahaba's emotions are rife and high, and no one is able to comprehend what is happening. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the middle of this, he is now uncertain, what should I do? So he goes back into his tent, and he goes to his wife, and he consults with his wife that, what do you think I should do? And his wife tells him that, no, why don't you just go outside and shave your head, as is a ritual of performing the pilgrimage, where the Umrah or Hajj. You shave your head, and Sahaba naturally they'll see you and they'll just follow suit. And so in this instance, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam takes mashwara from his wife. So various instances in the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he also took mashwara, he took consultation, and he tried to understand or see things from different perspectives and take different opinions into account. Now, mashwara is a very noble act, and through mashwara, there are two ingredients to success in any matter, any decision we want to make in life, any matter we were faced with. There are two main ingredients to success. Number one, the ingredient is that a person does mashwara, a person consults and takes into account different perspectives, different opinions. And number two, a person then, after he has taken mashwara, and then a person does istikharah. And istikharah is you're seeking goodness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And just while you're on the topic of istikharah, I just want to mention that sometimes people have a misconception that istikharah means that if I do istikharah, I'm going to have a vision from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or I'll be able to see a dream and I'll be able to get some answers. That is not istikharah. You're not, the definition of istikharah means to seek goodness. You're seeking goodness from Allah. That, oh Allah, whatever decision I am about to make, whatever steps I am about to take, put goodness in there for me. Now, sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also through the means of true dreams can sometimes give indications towards us, but that is nothing to do with istikharah at all. This has no connection with istikharah. It's a separate virtue, or a separate a thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestows on people at times, and sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will enable us to see true dreams, but this has nothing to do with istikharah. So istikharah is to seek goodness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should all try to learn the dua of istikharah. It is absolutely a beautiful dua. اللهم إني أستخيرك بعلمك واستقدرك بقدرتك فإنك تقدر ولا أقدر إنك تعلم ولا أعلم أنت علام الغيوب اللهم إن كنت تعلم أن هذا الأمر خير لي في ديني ومعاشي وعاقبة أمري عاجله وآجله فاقدره لي ويسر لي فيه وبارك لي فيه وإن كنت تعلم أنه شر لي في ديني ومعاشي وعاقبة أمري عاجله وآجله فاصرف عني واصرفني عنه واقدر لي الخير حيث كان. The beautiful dua. Oh Allah, I seek goodness from you, and you're basically putting your affair in Allah's hands. Oh Allah, if this decision I'm about to make, if this step I'm about to take, if this direction I'm about to take, if this is good for me, then put goodness in there for me, put blessings in there for me, and make it make it something that is in my destiny, destine it for me, write it down for me, make it good for me, make it blessed for me. And I'm about to make a decision and there's no goodness in there, فَصْرِفْنِي عَنْ. Whether that goodness is to do with our worldly life, whether that goodness is to do with our sustenance and our provisions, whether that goodness is to do with our spirituality and our being able to practice our religion and uphold our religious teachings and principles and practices, in both aspects, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has got the full picture. We have distorted pictures, we have small fragments of angles and perspectives as the creation. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is Allamul Ghuyub. He is the knower of unseen. He is the one who has the knowledge of the unseen. He knows the past, present and future. He knows the siyaq and sibaq, and He knows everything, and He is a possessor of this. And therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only knows what's best for us. So we seek from Allah that if I am going to make this decision, if I am going to take this step in my life, then you put goodness in it for me, and if it's good for me, then make it happen for me. If it's bad for me, whether in terms of my religious life, whether in terms of my Islamic life, or whether in terms of my day-to-day worldly life, in whatever aspect, in terms of my family life, in terms of my financial situation, if it is bad for me, then divert this away from me, divert me towards something which is better or more appropriate for me in this present moment in the time. And therefore, when a person makes this dua and seeks this goodness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is the definition of istikharah, seeking goodness. So a person seeks goodness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guaranteed ensure that you will be granted success. We will be granted success. So number one, the first thing that we must do is we must do mashwarah. We must consult whether those people have more experience than us, people have different perspectives, different opinions, or just to see, feel the flavor of what people may think about this. You don't have to follow a particular opinion all the time, but it gives you a better idea and it opens the scope of your perspective wider. It'll widen your perspective, it'll widen the scope of your perspective, and you'll be able to see the picture of the matter or the decision you're about to take from a completely a wider angle and in a completely better way than a person who just goes out of the way without doing any mashwara and just goes and does whatever they want to do and make the decisions. So you don't have to do exactly what other people are telling you to do, but you take their opinions and their views and perspectives into account. Once you've understood all the different possibilities and the different perspectives, then thereafter a person does mashwara, a person has done mashwara, then a person does istikharah and seeks goodness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant the best possible outcome of that decision we're about to make and make it a means of goodness. And therefore the athar over here, the tradition over here which Imam Bukhari brings is from Al-Hasan al-Basri. Al-Hasan قال والله ما استشار قوم قط إلا هدوا لأفضل ما بحضرتهم. That by Allah, no people seek advice. No people can ever seek advice or seek consultation, seek mashwara from anyone, إلا هدوا لأفضل ما بحضرتهم, except that they will be guided towards the best possible outcome, the best available outcome for them, because you're widening your perspective. And then Hassan recited the ayah of the Quran, وَأَمْرُهُمْ شُورَى بَيْنَهُمْ. Allah has titled an entire surah Shura, the surah of mutual consultation. So, these are two. In Majma'u Zawaid, there is a narration of Anas ibn Malik radiallahu ta'ala who says, and he says that this is from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that when a person does two things, when a person does istikharah, then that person will never lose. A person with istikharah, that person will never lose in terms of whatever decision they're about to make. They will not lose out. Once you've made istikharah, you're never going to lose out. And number two, if a person does mashwara, they will never regret doing mashwara. Because if you do mashwara, even though you may not act upon those opinions and perspectives, but your scope and your perspective and your angle and your sight and your vision has been expanded anyway, and you're able to understand the different perspectives in this regard. So whether that's to do with marriage, whether that's to be buying a house, whether that's to be with making an investment, whether that's to do with starting a business, whether that's to be with accepting a place at college or university, whether it's to do with choosing a course in school, college or university, whether it's a decision you want to make in your life, whether it's about you want to any decision you're faced with, no matter how small or large that decision may be, a person should do mashwara in the smallest and the largest of things, and a person should thereafter also do istikharah. We should make it a practice within ourselves, within our day-to-day life, that we do istikharah and read the dua of istikharah at every step of our life, because everything we do, we need goodness. A person will never lose out. If a person, the dua will take you less than a minute to read. And if you learn the dua, is amazing, a beautiful dua from the sunnah. If you can't learn the dua, even if you just learn the meaning of the dua and you say that dua, the dua of istikharah in English, you will never lose out also. We should try and learn the sunnah du'as also, because these are the very words utilized by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And of course, these are words are going to fly through the heavens and directly open the gates of the heavens for the blessings and mercy and goodness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to descend in the decisions we're making and in the steps we're taking in life. But always remember, let us try to take it upon ourselves to consult with others and thereafter make our decisions. After also, we have done istikharah, we have sought goodness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The next chapter which Imam Bukhari brings over here, Bab ithmu man ashara ala akhihi bighayri rushdin. Now sometimes someone may come to you and ask for your opinion. They may ask your mashwara, ask your opinion. What do you think about this? Is this right for me? Is this wrong for me? What do you think? Now sometimes that person is another hadith of Rasulullah al-mustashar mu'tamanun, a person who someone has come to seek mashwara and guidance and consultation from. The person being consulted, that person is in a place where they are in a place of trust. They are being trusted by this person. I am trusting your opinion that you're going to give me an honest opinion that is going to be for my benefit and my goodness. So if someone comes to us and they are seeking consultation and they are seeking advice, then we should not give them the wrong advice. By purpose, because maybe we're jealous of them, or we don't want them to excel and get better than us, or we want them to maybe fall into a bad situation, and so we give them the wrong advice, we give them the wrong consultation. No, this is not something that we should be doing as Muslims. And this is what the purpose of bringing this chapter, or the topic of Mashwarah in the book of character building. Why did Imam Bukhari bring this particular topic, the topic of consultation? Because when a person comes to consult from you, a person comes to ask advice from you, then ismu man ashara ala akhihi bighayri rushd. The chapter title is enough. The sin of the one who gives advice or guidance to his brother in faith or sister in faith bighayri rushdin, without any guidance, without any goodness in. You're giving them the wrong advice. And Abi Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu قال قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من تقول علي ما لم أقل فليتبوأ مقعده من النار ومن استشار ومن استشاره أخوه المسلم فأشار عليه بغير رشد فقد خانه ومن فتي بغير ثبت فإثمه على من أفتاه. Three very stern warnings of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The first warning, man taqawwala alayya ma lam aqul. Whoever attributes something to me that I did not say, فَلْيَتَبَوَّأْ مَقْعَدُهُ مِنَ النَّارِ. Then let him prepare his seat for him in the hellfire. Number two, وَمَنْ اسْتَشَارَهُ أَخُوهُ الْمُسْلِمِ. That person from whom consultation and advice is sought by their brother or sister in faith, whether that's a blood relation or just a brother or sister in faith. فَأَشَارَ عَلَيْهِ بِغَيْرِ رُشْدٍ. Then they give consultation, or they give advice to that person without any guidance, without any goodness. They give them the wrong advice by purpose. فَقَدْ خَانَهُ. That person has betrayed them. That person has betrayed them. The person who gives the wrong advice, that person has betrayed them. وَمَنْ أُفْتِيَ فُتِيَ بِغَيْرِ ثَبَتٍ فَإِثْمُهُ عَلَى مَنْ أَفْتَى. And this is also, this last section of this hadith, this last sentence is absolutely very, very important. And especially in this day and age where people maybe watch one or two videos, read one or two articles or sentences here and there, translations, and they start giving out rulings of Islam. They start giving out fatwa, whereas they have no understanding or no position to give that instruction or ruling. So, وَمَنْ أُفْتِيَ فُتِيَ بِغَيْرِ ثَبَتٍ. The person, مَنْ أُفْتِيَ فُتِيَ بِغَيْرِ ثَبَتٍ, the person who is given a fatwa without any, بِغَيْرِ ثَبَتٍ, without any firm backing, without any evidence of that, resulting as from the principles of fiqh, of the Quran and Sunnah, of the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or the teachings of the Quran and Sunnah, or the principles laid out by the Quran and the Sunnah, or anything which stems from the principles laid out by the fuqaha, the jurists and the mujtahideen and the salafus salihin and the ulama. If no one has ever given you a backing, you've got no backing to back up your claim to try to give this decision or advice or fatwa to someone, a ruling to someone, a judgment for someone, then فَإِثْمُهُ عَلَى مَنْ أَفْتَى. If someone is given this wrong fatwa, this wrong ruling, this wrong answer, and they then go and do something according to that answer, فَإِثْمُهُ عَلَى مَنْ أَفْتَى. Then the sin of that wrong thing, or the sin of that misguidance, won't be on that person doing the act or undertaking that, but rather the person who gave him the wrong answer. So we have to be very careful. Just because we maybe watched a few videos and we think we've understood something, or maybe we just want to put our 50 pence worth in and we just want to start giving out rulings and judgments. No, we are not in a position of that. We have not been trained and qualified and certified to pass comments and rulings on scripture, on the tradition of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, on the rulings of fiqh, on the judgments of the jurists and the mujtahideen. Then we have no standing to be giving out rulings and judgments ourselves. And therefore Rasulullah is giving a very stern warning. 3 very stern warnings. If I did say something, don't attribute it towards me. If someone comes to seek advice from you, consultation from you, someone is in Mashwarah from you, don't give them the wrong advice or the wrong consultation, because you've betrayed them. And number 3, if someone comes and is going to ask a fatwa from someone, going to ask a ruling, and you don't know, just simply say you don't know. And the great example of this is of the great Imam, the Imam of Medina. There is only one person throughout history that has been titled Imam Dar al-Hijrah, the Imam of the place or the home of migration. The Imam of the city of Medina al Munawwara. And who was this? This was none other than Imam Malik ibn Anas rahimahullah. Great Imam, one of the greatest Imams. He was a faqih, a jurist, he was a muhaddith, he was an Imam, he was a scholar, he was a guide, and he was a amazing human. You know, we could delve into the beautiful life and character and actions and every single nitty-gritty detail in the life of Imam Malik, and a person can take guidance from. Allah made him a living personification of guidance. So Imam Malik rahimahullah, the Imam of Medina, someone comes from a very afar, and that person has been sent with a whole list of so many questions. And you go to Medina and ask the Imam of Medina, ask Imam Malik all these questions for us. When a person comes to Medina Munawwara and he asks Imam Malik, that I have the place I've come from, they have given me, all the people have given me this long list of questions. These are our questions. We want the answers from you, or Imam Malik. What does Imam Malik do? He answers a few of them, and for the rest of them he just says, La adri, I don't know. La adri, I don't know. So the person says, what am I going to say to the people? I've come all the way to Medina Munawwara. They've given me this list of questions, and they want to hear from Imam Dar al-Hijr, the Imam of Medina, the great Imam, one of the four Imams of the Madhahib, or the person who compiled and brought forth the first major book, or the most authentic book according to Imam al-Shafi'i, after the book of Allah is the Muwatta of Imam Malik, beautiful collection of hadith. And Imam Malik says, I don't know. Just tell them. قال مالك لا أدري. Malik said, I don't know. So this was the number one, this was the humbleness and the humility of Imam Malik, and he wasn't concealing any knowledge. He just felt that he wasn't in a position to fully comprehend the nature of the question, or maybe not able to answer the question or give its right due, and maybe even though he may know the answer, but maybe for certain times certain answers cannot be given, and there are wisdoms behind this, or maybe he didn't feel himself worthy or in a position where he can answer such questions, and he just said, I don't know. And he didn't think that, oh my God, what are people going to think of me? They're calling me the Imam of Medina, and they're going to come and they're going to think that this person is known as the Imam of Medina, and he's saying he doesn't know. Then who's going to know? He didn't bother about any of this. Imam Malik just said, قال مالك لا أدري. Just say, Malik said, I don't know. So this is a very important lesson for all of us. When Imam Malik says, La adri, I don't know. And today, we maybe watch one small TikTok video, we watch one reel on Instagram, we maybe saw one small clip on YouTube, we saw someone posted a thread on Twitter, and we read some translation of a hadith, or translation of the ayah of the Quran, or translation of some text, or taken out of the context, or misunderstood, and we just based on that start issuing judgments and fatwa, then فَإِثْمُهُ عَلَى مَنْ أَفْتَى. Whoever then is a recipient of that fatwa and takes whatever decision or action based on that, all of those sins is on you for giving that fatwa or that judgment or that ruling or that comment without any evidence, without any backing, without any certification, without any authorization, without being in a position to be able to give that answer. And so therefore we learned out of these two hadith and this whole topic we've talked about today of mashwarah and consultation, is that no matter how advanced we may get in the world, in whatever aspect of, whether in terms of our religious life, whether in terms of our religious knowledge, whether in terms of our worldly day-to-day life, whether in terms of our career, whether in terms of our education, whether in terms of our economics, whether in terms of our finances, whether in terms of our day-to-day life, our living, in any aspect of our life, no matter how much expertise we may take upon ourselves or believe ourselves to possess, still we must always, at every juncture, we must consult, take into account other opinions, other perspectives, widen our scope, think about and bear in mind how different people may see this, how different ideas about this topic may affect about this decision I'm about to make, how maybe I may think is good for me, but someone else may know something that I may not know. And as a result, that person can, that mashwarah, that consultation, that opinion, that perspective may give me an insight that I didn't know of before. And thereafter, what do? After we've done mashwarah,
वो खुला
make
मैदान
sure
हो।
we try and learn the dua of
और वहाँ के
istikhara.
ऊपर
You don't
आपको
have to pray
दो
two
काम करने
rakats and then raise
हैं।
your
एक
hands
तो
and
ये
make
है
dua. This is the
कि
best
जब
way to do
ईशा
it.
की नमाज का
But
टाइम शुरू
there's
होगा
a
वहाँ,
short dua. Allah makhirli
तो वहाँ
wakhtarli.
पर
Allah, oh Allah, choose
हर
for me.
ग्रुप
Oh Allah,
वाले
put goodness
जोर
in for
जोर
me
से
and choose
अजान
for me.
देते हैं, आपको
But the
पता चल ही जाता
best
है,
one is the longer
और
dua,
नमाज
which is
शुरू
not
कर
too
देते
long.
हैं।
Couple of lines, and a
तो
person
ऐसे
can learn
वक्त
it
क्या
within a
करना है
week maybe
आपको,
as well. If a person doesn't want to learn it
मगरिब
one full
और
day,
ईशा
they want to learn
एक
one
साथ
line
पढ़ने
each
हैं।
day or something, and they
तो
learn
आप
this
क्या
dua.
करेंगे वहाँ
But
पर,
also try and look at
चार
the
लोग
meaning of the
8-10
dua,
आदमी हैं,
and then read
चलो
this
भाई एक
dua
आदमी अजान दे
with
दो,
the
तो
meaning, with
अजानियत बोलना है,
understanding the
लेकिन
meaning of the
तकबीर
dua of
बोलो,
istikhara. Beautiful dua
अजान नहीं
istikhara,
तकबीर
inshallah.
बोलो। तो
And if I
एक
get a
अजान दे
chance,
दी,
I will try
दो
and
तकबीर, दो
share
तकबीर का
the
मतलब
dua of
पहले मगरिब
istikhara
की
with
तकबीर
the
आपने
meaning,
दे दी,
so that we can all maybe
उसके
inshallah
बाद
try and
सुन्नत
learn
नहीं
this
पढ़ लो,
dua and
उसके बाद
read this
फौरन
dua.
ईशा की नमाज,
Let's read
क्योंकि
this dua
उसकी
every
तकबीर
single day of
होगी,
our life. Every day
ईशा की
we're
नमाज
taking
के
steps
लिए।
and decisions
ईशा
in
की
our lives.
नमाज पढ़ ली, अब आपको सुन्नत
We're going
पढ़ना है, तो
through
पहले
different
मगरिब की
scenarios
सुन्नत
in
पढ़ो
life,
2 रकात,
and
उसके बाद ईशा
therefore
की
in
सुन्नत
every
और
step of
वितर
our
दोहरा
lives,
लो,
let us try
ये
and read the
तरतीब
dua
है।
of istikhara and seek goodness
अब
from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
मुज़दलिफ़ा
That's
में
the main
आपको
message.
क्या करना
We're
है, आप
seeking
आराम भी कर
goodness,
सकते हैं,
and we're not being
तौबा कर
selfish, or
सकते
we're
हैं,
not trying
दुआ
to
कर
boost
सकते
our
हैं।
own ego
अल्लाह के
by
नबी
thinking
सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि
we are
वसल्लम ने बहुत दुआ की है,
independent
अल्लाह
of the
मेरी उम्मत
needs
की
of the
तारीफ़ को माफ़
ideas
फरमा
and
दे। अल्लाह
advices and
अल्लाह ताला ने
consultations
हर
and
एक दुआ
perspectives of
कबूल कर
anybody
ली,
else.
मैदान अरफ़ा,
I am independent
हर
now. I
एक
don't
दुआ
need
कबूल
anybody's advice.
फरमा ली।
I
वो कौन
don't
सी?
need anyone to tell me
अल्लाह
or
ने कहा है,
advise me or
मोहम्मद
guide me
मैं
because I
तेरी
know
उम्मत
everything.
के
No.
ज़ालिम लोगों को
Always
माफ़
remember,
नहीं करूँगा,
if Rasulullah sallallahu
नहीं
alaihi
करूँगा,
wasallam,
उसको
who
सज़ा
after
मिलेगी।
Allah subhanahu wa
कोई
ta'ala,
आदमी ने किसी पर
the
जुल्म
most
किया है,
knowledge the
हमारे यहाँ
entire
एक इस्लाम है,
creation ever received
हम उससे उसका
is nothing
बदला
compared to the
चुकाएंगे।
knowledge of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
अल्लाह के
And
नबी
he
सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि
is
वसल्लम
being told to
जो है
consult with those who are his
उम्मत की
followers,
हिदायत के लिए,
his
उनकी
nation,
मग़फ़िरत के लिए
people who
बड़े
are
बेचैन
under
होते
him
हैं।
in rank, his
अल्लाह के नबी
students,
को हुक्म
his
था,
Sahaba
उसी गम के
ridwanullahi
अंदर
alayhim ajma'in.
मुख्तलिफा में थे,
وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ.
और अल्लाह के
Allah is
नबी ने फिर दुआ
commanding
शुरू
him
की, फिर दुआ
to
शुरू की,
take
अल्लाह
their opinions into
मेरी उम्मत के
account.
ज़ालिमों को माफ़ फरमा।
And who are you and I to think
कि
that
अल्लाह के
we
नबी
are
ने कहा, या
independent of
अल्लाह
anybody's advice,
तू तो
anybody's
रब है,
opinion,
तुझे कौन
anybody's
पूछने वाला है?
consultation? May Allah
अगर तू
subhanahu wa
ज़ालिम को
ta'ala
माफ़ कर
give
दे
me the ability,
और
give you the
मज़लूम को
ability, give
देखकर
all
बदला
of us
ले
the
ले,
ability to
तो तेरे हाथ
understand
में कौन तुझे
this
रोकेगा?
important aspect
अल्लाह
of
ताला ने
our
दुआ कबूल
religion,
की।
of the teachings of Rasulullah
कहाँ
sallallahu alaihi
पर?
wasallam. May
मुज़दलिफ़ा में।
Allah enable us to draw
और
lessons
अल्लाह ने
from the
कहा कि
teachings of
ठीक है,
Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi
मैं
wasallam.
तुम्हारी
May Allah
उम्मत
enable
के
us to
ज़ालिमों
adopt
को भी
these
माफ़
beautiful
कर दूंगा,
characteristics and traits,
और जो
and
मज़लूम जिस पर
may
जुल्म
He give
हुआ
us the
है,
ability to
जिस पर
nurture
जुल्म
these
हुआ है,
characteristics and
उसको मैं राज़ी
mannerisms
कर दूंगा अपनी
within
तरफ,
us also, that
मैं
we
उसको
too
राज़ी
can
कर
become
दूंगा।
a reflection of
तो ये
Rasulullah
दुआ करो। अल्लाह
sallallahu
के
alaihi
नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि
wasallam
वसल्लम
and
मुस्कुराए,
true
सहाबाए किराम ने पूछा,
claimants
या रसूलुल्लाह
to being the
सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम
followers
आपका
and
चेहरा
ummatis
खिल
of
गया
Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi
और
wasallam.
आप
May Allah
मुस्कुराए,
subhanahu wa
क्या
ta'ala
हुआ?
resurrect us in the day
तो
of
अल्लाह के
Qiyamah
नबी ने
with
फरमाया
our beloved
कि
Messenger
अल्लाह ताला
sallallahu
से
alaihi
मैं
wasallam.
दुआ
Wa
करता हूँ,
sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala
मेरी
sayyidina